Hey guys, I'd like to talk about that whole Antifa thing again. I thought, there's been a lot of hilarious developments since it's come out or since it's happened. One of the biggest ones so far has been, that one girl who got punched. A lot of people are freaking out. I've been seeing on Twitter, people are arguing. They're like, oh, you're against Richard Spencer being punched, but you're for this girl being punched. It's the exact same thing. People are being punched for political reasons. And it's like, no, no, you're wrong. You're already wrong. Okay? Because first of all, like I don't defend Richard Spencer and I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but he was just speaking, right? He was just speaking and then he was hit. People were attacking him for political reasons. Whereas this girl, she came to this event to start violence. Like you see a Facebook post of her before going to the event. She's like, I'm gonna get like 100 Nazi scalps before showing up. Like this girl intended to do violence there. And I see a lot of liberals, left-wing people, like, oh, how could you hit a woman, this and that. It's like, wait, aren't you guys the party of like, everybody's the same, men and women are the same, right? Should it even matter that, the person was hit was a woman? Should you even highlight that? Is that sexist? Maybe she identified as a man. You don't know that. Maybe it was two guys fighting. That could be it. And yeah, it looked like it was a sucker punch, but you know, we didn't see what happened before that. She could have been stomping on somebody's head, right? We don't know. And she showed up there to fight. She showed up there to be treated like a man, so she was treated like a man. If you're gonna get in there, if you're gonna get in the mix of things, you're gonna get hit. That's your own fault. And I don't feel sorry for you, and she deserved it. You know, and I'm just really annoyed with these people I'm arguing with on Twitter. They're like, oh, it's like they're the skeptical-minded people as well, or they're supposed to be. And they're like, oh no, I just condemn all violence, all political violence. And it's like, wait, like who showed up to whose event, right? Like these people showed up to the pro-Trump event. Pro-Trumpers don't show up to their events to cause violence. It doesn't happen in reverse. And people are like, oh, they're both in the wrong. It's like, I don't know. Okay, like the individuals who kept going and like being somebody on the ground, it's like, all right, yeah, you're taking it too far. But the majority of the time when I saw that happening, it was to Trump supporters surrounded by like 15 Antifa members, stomping them on the ground, hitting them with skateboards. So, they're the ones who brought the gas bombs, they're the ones who brought the M80s, they're the ones who were throwing the bricks. And now both sides are equivalent? Like, come on. One of them was defending themselves, clearly. And, you know, it, the pushback was bound to happen, and it's just going to get worse for them, right? Because a lot of these people are just, like I said before in my other video, they're elite liberal college kids. Like a lot of them don't know how to fight. Like they went to, communist courses. They're like, hey, do you want to learn how to fight the Nazi? And so all these people don't know what they're doing. And if they were actually fighting like real skinheads, yeah, they would run. They would run with the tails between their legs, right? Like that would happen. And another thing during the event, which was really interesting, was the cops. Like they were just standing down. Like I think it was We Are Change or perhaps Tim Pool was questioning them, and they were asking like, "Why are you not doing anything?" And the cops like, "Hey, speak to my police chief," right? So why are the cops asked to be, to stand back and just let it happen? I don't really get that. Why are they not keeping the peace? I guess it's who knows? I don't know the police chief in that city. I don't know what his politics are and what reasoning he could have behind allowing this. Like, I don't want to get conspiratorial or anything like that, but you know, allowing your citizens to hash it out on the street, fight, these types of things, that will kind of give incentive for your government to place things like martial law, these types of things. So, people should be careful about, especially the Antifa members, the one who are actually going out to instigate this violence. It's not the other way around. Let's be clear about that. So remember that. But the people that are instigating this violence need to think of the repercussions. Not only will these people fight back, and a lot of these people are Second Amendment people, right? You got to be careful who you punch. Some people might have a gun, and at that Milo event a couple months back, that one guy got shot in the stomach. Like, he deserved it because, yeah, he was attacking the guy. But people, you got to remember, like, people are armed, they have guns, and they're not as big of pussies as you as well from the left wing. So there's also that you have to consider. And when the cops aren't helping, you think it's good. They're like, oh, they're letting us do what we want. But that's just going to allow them to implement harsher rules on you later, because they'll be justified to be like, well, look what's happening. If we don't implement this, if we don't have a militarized police, state, then everybody's gonna go wild, and they're all gonna fight and attack each other. So you're just playing in to both hands. You're kind of helping the Trump supporters in a sense, because you're just making yourselves look like the bad people, even to the centrists and even to a lot of liberals that are looking at this. But there are also a bunch of liberals that are condone. I saw them condone that Richard Spencer thing. It's like that one actor, I forget his name, he's like, we need to punch Nazis in the face. Like, these people don't understand what their words, what the repercussions will have. Like, you don't want a civil war, and America's already fairly divided. Like, there's no point adding fuel to the fire. So I think people need to calm down a little bit, if anything. But I still stand by the fact that it was Antifa. It's their fault. And the Trump supporters, what they did, they're completely in the right. They were, they didn't really go too much overboard from what I saw. And yeah, like, anybody condoning them or saying that they're just the same as the Antifa, they're wrong. And people are getting mad about that girl being punched. Like, she deserved it. She deserved it. If you want to be a man, you're going to be treated like a man, right? I don't feel sorry for her one bit. Another thing I have to mention is, like, she's also a porn star, which is pretty hilarious. But you look at pictures of her a few years ago, and it's a night and day. Like, she was a gorgeous girl, and then, like, I don't know, socialism and feminism happened. So that's pretty much the same thing happened to her. And now look at her. She's got Harry Pitt's dreadlocks. She looks like shit. She's getting in scraps with men. She's like 95 pounds. Like, this girl's like 19, 20 years old. She doesn't know any better. And at that age, people are very susceptible to things like Antifa and these types of movements, because they're radical. Like, they're like, no, we're not going to negotiate. We're going to go in there, we're going to fight, and we're going to kick some ass, and we're going to show them who's boss. We're going to make them listen. But, it generally doesn't work out that way. So, hopefully these people learn their lesson this time. I don't think they will, unfortunately. They'll be back, and they'll probably be beat back again until something very bad happens, until some people die. And then once that happens, just wait and see. Just wait and see what will be implemented because of your guys' actions. And it will be the fault of the left, not the right. They're just defending themselves. It would be the fault of the left. It would be the fault of the people condoning punching Nazis in the face, because they're the ones who made political violence okay. They're the ones. Everybody else is saying no, 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 no. And don't conflate what happened to that girl as political violence, because that wasn't political. She showed up there to attack people for her own political reasons. So nobody should feel bad for this girl. And Antifa are just a bunch of whiny little babies. But if you like my content, subscribe, hit the like button, and have a great day.